Welcome everyone to the 2017 PRM Training Webinar. My name is Dennis Olson, the Public Relations Strategist at World Headquarters, and I'll be your moderator today. Today my co-presenters are Leah Hovig, our Digital Marketing Specialist, and Sally Newell-Cohen, Chief Operations Officer of Toastmasters International. Sally has worked for Toastmasters since 2009 and brings more than 25 years of experience in the field of communication and leadership. She's instrumental in strategic development and implementation, and Sally spearheaded the organization's rebrand and Toastmasters Pathways project. Thank you so much, Sally, for being here.
Thank you, Dennis, and thank you all for taking the time to join us today. And I know you're all busy and doing not only your Toastmasters work, but also all the other things that you do in your lives. So we value your time, and we want to make sure that this hour is well spent. Let me tell you a little bit about the team that's here in the room with us too. So Dennis is our public relations strategist. He's now been with World Headquarters for 3 years. And he has been doing a lot of work to simplify the public relations process for our public relations managers, as well as kind of streamlining how we all work together as one to create more awareness. Leah Hovig has been our social media strategist now for almost 2 years, and she has also made some significant gains in increasing the base of people that follow us on Facebook, interact with us on Instagram, in all of those places, and LinkedIn. So she also works to protect our reputation and the brand along the way. So I just wanted to know who is here with us. And then we also have Monica Aparicio, and she is here to manage the online part of this. So if you see the slides go down, no, just kidding. Monica is making sure that all the technology works right. And again, as Dennis said, if any of you are having problems with technology, just shoot her a message in the chat function of the toolbar, and she will help you get straightened out. Okay, so we do want to make sure your time is spent well today. And the objective is, first of all, congratulations on your new roles. I know for many of you, this is the first time you've been a public relations officer. It might be the first time you're in a district leadership role. And we want to congratulate you on that role. Our objective is to give you a good head start in how to start to work into your role and giving you the tools you need to succeed. We understand that this is an important and complex responsibility, and we want you to feel like you're supported. We also recognize that public relations is likely not a part of your skill set. So we're hoping to help fill in some of the blanks for you, to give you a better perspective on what the real objective is of your role. In the years that we've been conducting this webinar, we have found that it has helped the public relations managers to increase exposure for Toastmasters in the outside world and to create more awareness locally for the clubs in your district, and to create opportunities to create greater awareness of the organization to help you support the district in achieving its mission. Please keep in mind that over this next hour, we're going to be referring to the materials that Dennis sent to you ahead of the call. So if you have that email handy, you'll want to pull it up. Otherwise, you can also access the documents in the handout section of the GoToWebinar menu. Also, we are recording the session, so you can go back and listen to the audio, review the slides anytime at your convenience. Dennis is going to let you know when the recording is available. So let's start. So at its most basic, the purpose of your role is to help the district achieve the mission. And I know that you all know this, but it's always worth repeating. The district mission is to build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Now, a district has many objectives that relate to achieving the mission, and one of those objectives is to increase awareness of Toastmasters International and its programs within the district. This is exactly where you as a public relations manager fits in. The District Leadership Handbook defines your role as follows. As PRM, you are responsible for coordinating publicity efforts in the district. By establishing and maintaining lines of communication between the district and its members, as well as between the district and the public, you work to increase awareness of Toastmasters through all available media. So over the next hour, we're going to review those responsibilities in more detail and talk about how your efforts will help the district to achieve its objectives. We'll detail your specific responsibilities, which are first, protecting the brand. Next, generating publicity and awareness of Toastmasters locally. Then developing and executing a successful communications plan. And of course, participating as a member of the district leadership team. These responsibilities are also referenced in the Toastmasters International District Leadership Handbook, and you'll find it on page 35. If you've not yet received your copy of the handbook, you can find it on the Toastmasters website at toastmasters.org/DLH. So we're going to start by talking about brand stewardship because it all begins and ends with the Toastmasters brand. Now, as an organization, we have a fiduciary and legal responsibility to protect our brand, and so do you as a public relations manager. If our branding, and what we mean by this is the legal aspects, the trademarks, the copyrights, if we aren't consistently representing those and we aren't protecting the use of them and protecting the brand, then we could actually forfeit our ownership of some of those brand elements. And from that perspective, we're only as strong as the weakest club. We're only as strong as the weakest use of the branding elements. So the question is, what is a brand? A brand is a product, a service, or a concept that's publicly distinguished from other products, services, or concepts. It's through brand messaging and imagery that we create an emotional connection with that product, company, or service. A brand is what articulates and differentiates itself by stating what makes the product, the service, or the concept unique. Simply said, a brand is who we are and why we matter. For Toastmasters, who we are is a leader in helping individuals become better communicators and leaders. Why we matter? We've been doing this for 90 years and impacting the lives of millions of people in the process. Things to know about a brand. A brand has a consistent and unified identity, both visually and in its language. By using branded materials and consistent language, our brand is strengthened. A brand clearly communicates an organization's goals and messages. A brand defines that organization, its products and services, and it differentiates that organization, product, or service from its competitors. So when you think about it in that perspective, everyone that's a part of Toastmasters and everything that we say and do represents the Toastmasters brand. And as public relations manager, you have a unique responsibility and opportunity to have a great impact on the organization because you represent all Toastmasters members from the club to the district. And even internationally when you communicate about the organization, because as you know, once it's on the internet, it lives forever. So as a result, you're also responsible for guarding and protecting our reputation and image. So let's talk about what those brand elements are. Now, the core is what we'll really focus on. Remember that a logo itself isn't a brand. A logo is merely a visual representation of the overall brand. The core elements of our brand include the services that we provide, and those are the club meetings, trainings, education programs. Our members are a core element and a core part of our brand. Our past members, our present members, and our future members. Our products, and the product category is broad. It's everything that says Toastmasters. It includes manuals, the Toastmaster magazine, and not only Toastmasters.org, but all of the websites that are Toastmasters websites, whether it's district websites, club websites, social media platforms, any blogs that clubs, district, or members may offer, videos, podcasts, banners, badges, trophies, plaques, certificates, even the things that you have at district conferences, like the mugs, the pens, notebooks, anything that you put the logo or the word mark that says Toastmasters on, that represents the Toastmasters brand. And then finally, our promise. And our promise is an extension of our brand positioning. So back in 2015, the board of directors created a brand promise. And I hope that it will resonate with you. I think it will because it's really based on the experience. But a brand promise is the expected tangible benefit one can receive when interacting with the brand. It's basically what we say we're going to do for each member. Now, something to know is this: a brand promise isn't intended as a tagline. It's most often used and most effectively used as an internal statement that we use to drive communication and performance in our teams. A strong brand promise achieves three goals. It conveys a compelling benefit, it's authentic, and it's credible. And the promise must be kept every time. The Toastmasters brand promise is empowering individuals through personal and professional development. And this is most true at the club level. It's also true at the district and international levels. But that is the expected and promised perceived benefit for a member when they join Toastmasters. Okay, so let's talk about the actual brand elements, different from the core elements of the kind of the stakeholders that make up our brand. These are the actual physical elements that make up our brand imagery and communication. So again, from that consistent global perception, it's critical that we all present a united front in the way that we talk about and display Toastmasters through our branding. We have a resource available for you. It's called the Toastmasters Brand Manual, and it will help you navigate some of these details. Where you can find it is on our website at toastmasters.org/brand manual. And you'll find important information, including things like the tagline. The tagline is where leaders are made. This is the tagline for the entire organization. It's really the only tagline that should be used, because when you use something different that may resonate with an event that you're holding or something like that, it creates confusion in the broader community. So Toastmasters members will know what you mean if you change your tagline, but the community won't. Now, one thing to note, when we talk about where leaders are made, and that being the tagline, it doesn't connote a change in our focus, a shift in our focus to leadership from communications. Rather, it implies the experience that members told us that they went through and the benefit that they ultimately gained from being members of Toastmasters. And that is that as you become more confident as a communicator and you find your voice, you typically are sought out and become a leader. Whether you choose to or whether it's chosen for you, it's that confidence that you build that transcends you to that next level. So that's the intention of the tagline. Now, other important elements are the official logo and word mark. These are the only images you should use to represent Toastmasters. So when you look on your screen, you see in the middle of the screen, you see the words Toastmasters International. That is our word mark, and those are our fonts. Right beside that, you see the globe logo. You can use either to represent Toastmasters, but please consult the brand manual to make sure that you only use the logo in the colors that are available, that are the branded colors, and that you're using it in the appropriate dimensions. You don't want to create a different logo because, again, that creates confusion out in the community. Now, the brand guidelines have been created to ensure consistency, but there is room for creativity. In the brand manual, you'll find that there are a number of different branded fonts and colors that you can use. We also offer you a variety of branded photography and elements that you can use to be somewhat creative in the materials that you are developing. In terms of the photography also, it's not there. You won't find representation of every country and necessarily every culture. So please know that if you need to customize your photography to match your culture, you can do that. But just look at the images that are there to see the clarity of the pictures, the resolution of the pictures, and the kind of composition of them to make sure that they're still professional and representative. So please keep in mind that I'm only giving you an overview of brand stewardship. You're soon going to be invited to watch a training video that goes into much greater depth on the topic. In the meantime, if you do have questions about branding or materials you want to use or imagery you want to use, don't hesitate to email brand@toastmasters.org with any questions. Now, the next critical area of your responsibility is public relations and publicity. And as I had mentioned earlier, for most of you, public relations isn't a core skill set for you. So PR is the most daunting of all of the responsibilities. It is a profession, and it's It's one that you only have 1 year to learn how to do it and to be successful at it. So that's really the purpose of this webinar, is to help you understand what public relations is and how to conduct a successful program. So we're going to do our best in this hour to give you the baseline of how to be successful. So what is public relations? Let's start with a definition. Good public relations is the practice of creating, promoting, and maintaining a favorable image of an institution among its audiences through the use of a variety of communication channels and tools. So how does PR impact the goals we're trying to achieve? We're trying to build membership, and the district is trying to build membership. Good public relations attracts potential members. We're also trying to build clubs, and good PR will create interest in building a club or learning more about building a club. Now, we're also trying to gain media coverage, and the reason for that is because publicity leads to public awareness, which benefits clubs, individual members, and ultimately the district. We're also trying to inform the public about club and district events, which again enhances the perception of the organization and its members and may create engagement. So those are big goals, but remember that you don't have to do them alone. The district director, the club growth director, and the region advisor all are here to help you understand the district's marketing needs and how to accomplish these goals. Now, Dennis is going to take you through the difference between PR and advertising and really how to structure your PR campaign. Dennis.
Thank you, Sally. People sometimes get confused about the difference between PR and advertising. One of the great benefits of PR is that it's low cost and has a high impact. Your district likely has an advertising budget and might decide to use it, but you'll also find that PR is a cost-effective way of publicizing the district. Here are the reasons why. The function of PR is to build relationships and generate goodwill, which ultimately establishes credibility. Marketing and advertising focus on selling or purchasing. The result of a good PR program is free publicity, while marketing and advertising are paid space and time. So if nothing else, please remember that PR is generally free and marketing and advertising cost money. For example, you could spend $10,000 for a tiny ad in the New York Times, or you could use PR to generate a free article in the New York Times, which people are far more likely to read, believe, and act on. So now that we understand the difference between PR and advertising, we can build a program. Let's discuss how to build your PR program. Your efforts should focus on promoting Toastmasters within the geographic area of your district. So think about some things that might be newsworthy. Some examples are stories about how speaking or leadership skills helped a person in the community to overcome an obstacle or to get a job promotion, keynote speakers at district events, educational opportunities at district conferences, speech contests and winners, new club officers, programs for the public, and international officer visits. Now we'll discuss some examples of best practices that you can emulate. Greg Scotland was last term's PRM for District 46, representing New York City, Westchester, Nassau, and Suffolk in New York State. Greg did a really good job of securing media coverage for his district with help from his team of 6 members. 2 of the members of that team specialize in media outreach and helped to generate some excellent publicity for the district over the past year, which included an article about a Morgan Stanley corporate club that was available to more than 50,000 Morgan Stanley employees through their company intranet. Here are the media outreach tips that Greg offers. Create a story angle. Write a press release with a catchy headline that will generate interest from reporters. Use Mondo Times to research media contacts and send the news release to specific reporters and news desks. Always respond to media inquiries promptly and respect their deadlines. Send press releases and media pitches via email on weekdays, and avoid pitching on weekends and Monday mornings because the reporters will be inundated with emails. If your first pitch to the media isn't successful, be persistent but don't harass the reporter. And finally, Greg also recommends maintaining constant communication with members of the district and utilizing social media to help spread the word. So that's a textbook example of how to conduct PR the right way. Another success story comes out of District 20 in the Middle East, which comprises Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Lebanon, and Jordan. Nancy George was a district PRM during the previous term, and she was very successful at generating news coverage for her district by leveraging events and special visits. During Nancy's term, she was able to secure coverage for district conferences as well as other district events and member achievements. This created great exposure for the organization and for District 20, and Nancy recommends leveraging opportunities such as an international director visit or district conference and pitch them to the local media, responding to media inquiries promptly and working to help reporters meet their deadlines, visiting the PR section of the Toastmasters website and filling out news release templates to promote events, working with VPPRs to help them pitch their local media and promote their club and its members, frequent communication within the district to determine what newsworthy events are occurring at the district and club levels, and increasing the exposure of the district by sharing all noteworthy media coverage and individual member achievements on the district's social networks. So both Nancy and Greg offer some really great tips and examples. Now we're going to take a step back and walk you through your role as PRM. We know that as the PRM, your role and responsibility include coordinating with the local news media, contributing to website content and newsletters, serving as a spokesperson, publicizing district news and activities to various audiences. Now let's talk about the tools and resources available to you to help you achieve your goals. PR tools such as social media and videos and resources like Let the World Know, which is our publicity and promotion handbook, can help you get the word out and raise awareness about Toastmasters activities and benefits, both to internal and external audiences. Let the World Know is going to be the #1 resource for you. You can easily access it on the Toastmasters website and also download it as a PDF. It's a comprehensive overview of the public relations function, and it gives you the tools you need to understand what your role is and how to achieve it. The manual walks you through making a plan and setting goals, identifying target audiences and tactics for an effective publicity campaign. The PR section of the Toastmasters website contains information, templates, and it's a great resource. You'll find a variety of helpful items, including a link to Let the World Know, sample news releases where you'll find different fill-in-the-blank news releases that you can download and complete and then send to the local media, a list of PRM and VPPR responsibilities, and this page will also include a link to the recording of this webinar once it's available. In addition, many resources exist to help you promote Toastmasters once you know the angle you want to take. There are a series of time-tested video tips available in our video library and on Toastmasters YouTube channel. The Club Experience video can also be found here. This video does a great job of showing what goes on at a Toastmasters meeting, so you'll find it useful to share with the media. As you build your PR program, an item you'll want to determine early on is who is the target audience for your message. A target audience is any person or group who has an actual or potential interest in the message. They represent the type of person we want to be interested in our message, and they can be an influencer. As a PRM, you have 3 distinct audiences. First, you have the local media, which includes newspapers, radio station, television, and online publications. You also have prospective members, which is the public and includes corporations and the community. And your last audience is current Toastmasters members. So as the PRM, your main focus is to get local media coverage. You don't need to get national or international coverage because I focus on that. By knowing who your target audience is, you can start to define which media you should approach. You'll need to find out what are the outlets, what do they read, and what do they listen to. Now this takes research, but once you've identified who they are, create a list of your local media, including appropriate contacts and the correct spelling of their names. MondoTimes.com is a free international website that will help you find media outlets in your area. And then after that, you'll need to learn how the media in your market like to be approached. The next topic is what messages will be appealing both to the media and to their audiences. So we've covered a lot of background and PR principles. Now let's get into the tactics. You have your media list, but before you begin contacting them, you need a toolkit. Always have a complete and accessible press kit available for the media. The official Toastmasters digital media kit is available in the Toastmasters Media Center. This kit is useful for events, media, and more. Materials in the kit include a Toastmasters fact sheet, Toastmasters history, organizational bios, a map with locations, and the features, benefits, and value fact sheet, which is used for corporate visits. You can customize this slightly for your district. News releases will be the most important of all your collateral pieces you create for the media because You're telling the story of Toastmasters and offering a topic. It enables you to reach all of your local media at the same time. It's cost effective, and you control the message. So the image you see on your screen now is the news release announcing the 2016 World Champion of Public Speaking, Darren Tay. You were emailed a copy of this release, so if you have it handy, please follow along. So there's a specific format the media wants to receive, and here are some tips for formatting a news release. You have the Toastmasters International letterhead, which can be found in the logos, images, and templates section of the website. You'll notice the release is typed for a professional presentation. You have your contact info with your name, title, and telephone number, and that appears on the top right section of the release. There's also the Toastmasters International boilerplate, which is a standard summary of the organization, and that's above the pound symbols at the bottom. Now, the boilerplate's updated each July by World Headquarters and is a one-paragraph summary of the organization, and this should not be customized for your district. Finally, the pound symbols below the content signals the end of the news release. This time, we'll take a look at a news release announcing Mike Storkey as Toastmasters International President and dissect the content. At the top, you have your headline and subheadline. Always include Toastmasters in the headline, and the headline should be a short, descriptive, and clear headline. Next, you'll list the dateline, which is the city and state origination of the news. Open with an attention-getting lead and answer who, what, when, why, and how. The most important information should be presented early, and subsequent paragraphs present supporting information. In the body of the news release, appeal to the target audience. Also use a meaningful quote to illustrate an idea through an important figure's voice. Emphasize central selling points with bullets. Include a call to action such as go to a website to find a club to visit or to learn more about your announcement. And always check for accuracy and errors. Make sure there's no typos, no imaginative spelling, or punctuation, as these things have a very negative impact on your credibility. So now that you've written your news release, you want to get the media to cover it, and the most effective way to do so is to send them an email pitch. Here's how to craft a pitch, which is a persuasive way to sell your story. A pitch can be used alone or with a news release. So a pitch is an invitation to reporters to cover a topic or a local event. A good pitch presents a compelling and clear case about a subject of interest to the reporters, readers, or viewers. I want to take a quick minute to congratulate the PRMs who have already secured media coverage for their district. When you started your role as PRM earlier this month, you received an email from me asking you to promote your local speech contest semifinalist. So thank you to those of you who have already hit the ground running and have received coverage for your district and its contestant. Now we'll review the basics of a pitch. They include the email subject line, which should be a short, catchy subject line with no punctuation marks. Then you have the greeting or salutation. If the email is addressed to an individual, use a warm greeting with their first or last name. If you don't personalize the email, people will think they're part of a mass email and they're likely to disregard it. Then craft two to three short paragraphs. First, introduce your news and explain why it's unique. And try to get to the point quickly since you only have a few seconds to grab the reader's attention. Then tell the person how your news will benefit his or her audience. Similar to the format of a news release, address who, what, when, where, why, and how. If you have a link to your news on a website, this is a good place to include it. You'll end the pitch with a call to action such as RSVP for the event, visit a website, or how to get in touch with you for more details. Be sure to indicate that you'll follow up with them. And at the bottom of your email is your signature. This is where you should include your name, contact info, and a link to your district website. Now let's take a look at this pitch I wrote to announce the 2017 International Speech Contest semifinalists. You should notice that the subject line, 102 Toastmasters advance in the world's largest speech contest, is short and it grabs the reader's attention. So I wrote this to pique a reporter's interest so that he or she requests more information about the local contestants who have made it this far and could potentially advance to the finals at next month's convention in Vancouver. The call to action is to arrange an interview after reading the news release, which was placed below the pitch in the email. So keep in mind, this was my pitch to the international media. Your pitch will be to the media within your district. So now that you've identified your market and created a news release or pitch, what do? Refrain from sending attachments to reporters because they either won't open the email or the email will just get stuck in the spam filter. Instead, include your news release in the body of the email, placing it below the pitch and the signature line. After some time has passed, follow up with a telephone call and reference your email and ask if they're interested in hearing more. If they are, be accessible and try to provide what they ask for. If not, don't be discouraged, thank them for their time, and ask them to consider you the next time they need to speak with someone about public speaking, communication, or leadership skills. Remember to be professional and keep the brand in mind. You only have one opportunity to make a good and lasting impression with members of the media. So we just talked about when we contact the media. There's also times when the media contacts World Headquarters first. For example, a couple months ago, a reporter with New York Magazine wanted to interview 2 Toastmasters members located in Los Angeles for a story she was working on about the fear of public speaking. To fulfill that reporter's request, World Headquarters worked with the PRM of District 1 to connect the reporter with members of the district who were interviewed and quoted in that article. The story resulted in great national publicity for the organization and District 1. So that's an overview of how to build an effective PR program. Now Leah is going to take you through the importance of using social media to promote your district. Leah?
Thank you, Dennis. Hello, everyone. Social media is a must for generating awareness. The district's goal in social media is to reach potential club members or individuals interested in building a club. When you create a Facebook fan page, if you don't have a fan page already, the number one thing you should remember is to use the @TI district and then the number of your district number. As you can see, there's an example on the slide. So it's also important to make sure that you create a Facebook fan page, a Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google+, and a YouTube page. And that's going to be to share your information and connect with members alike. These channels are public, and it's critical to adhere to brand guidelines. Toastmasters International uses these 6 channels effectively, and each one has unique benefits and features. Facebook is used to share pictures, videos, and club posts with other members. You can build a fan page to connect with an unlimited number of group members or fans. Follow and friend as many club members in your Toastmasters district, and they'll follow you and share content when you post it online. Use Twitter as an opportunity to announce club meetings, congratulate members, share special events, and an opportunity to generate club building or district events. Share tips on how to attract prospective members to a club. Be sure to use your website or news releases. Use Hootsuite or other tools such as Bitly to shorten links. And also make sure to use hashtags, keywords preceded by a hashtag when talking about something to search for and what's trending in your district. And also using a hashtag allows users who are not following you to see your tweets and content that you put out on the various social media sites. The @ symbol is used when you're talking to someone. So please consider using popular Toastmaster hashtags such as you see above in front of you, hashtag Toastmasters, hashtag where leaders are made, hashtag public speaking, hashtag communication, and hashtag leadership to track specific conversations. LinkedIn offers a place where members can participate in discussion or provide advice in more professional settings. It's a place where you can show the media and corporate who you are and what you do. We also, for Toastmasters International, have a LinkedIn page. It's recommended for you to join. It's called the LinkedIn Public Relations Discussion, and you'll see the link that's in front of you. So please don't hesitate to join. Instagram is a great place to share club photos and videos to your audience. You can build a profile to connect with members and potential members both inside and outside of your district. Google Plus is one of the world's largest and most popular search engines. It's a place where you can explore your interest and join communities of people around the world. You can share photos, videos, and articles. YouTube's a tool to upload your original district video content and share it with your members and the world to see. The social media sites are the pipes of the internet. The image in the slide shows you the different social media channels and how to explain your content. For example, Twitter is used to say things that are happening. For example, I'm at a Toastmasters district club meeting. Facebook is how to basically unite and create community with your district members. A great example to post is like our Toastmasters district club and join our community. Instagram is one of the pipes for your district profile to show things that relate to your club building or relates to your club leaders. Here's a photo of our members at a district event. YouTube's a great place to show lots of speech contest videos. Remember, you want the video to be professional. Follow the guidelines and make sure the video is accurately representing the experience. Make sure it's the image to represent as Toastmasters. An example is to use "Watch our video" at the Toastmasters District Speech Contest. LinkedIn is where you can show your PRM and the media or corporation that you are who you are and what you say you are. For example, I'm a Toastmasters PRM at District so-and-so. Google Plus is where people go to discover amazing things and connect with people passionate about Toastmasters. An example to use is have a passion for public speaking? Join us at Toastmasters District Open House. Your social media goal is to create awareness and a sense of community around your local clubs. When you have an open house, speech contest, or special event, post them online. Engage with your audience to evangelize online local traffic and increase engagement by utilizing all accounts to push as many updates as possible per week. If you run out of content, don't hesitate to share content from World Headquarters or your local clubs. If there's a breaking Toastmasters news in your local area, don't hesitate to promote it on your social media channels. If you're trying to create online traffic, you have to make sure on your website there is a payoff. If you're generating awareness on the district on any of these social media channels and trying to convert people to go onto the district website, make sure you have the information to read for them to see, watch, or engage in. Make sure it's purposeful and there's a payoff for them. When creating and using a link, be sure to use bit.ly. It helps shorten the URL and keeps track of how many people are clicking on your post. Please take a look at the district and club's social media accounts on the screen for good examples of their work, and remember to post on your networks regularly to keep members engaged. You can find Toastmasters official social media sites at toastmasters.org/social networking. If you have any questions about social media, please don't hesitate to email socialmedia@toastmasters.org, and our team will assist you. Social media offers an additional avenue for districts and clubs to interact, and you'll often find it more convenient to compose and engage with others through Facebook messaging and Twitter. The notifications and the emails are much more important and easier to use through that. District and club social media pages help engage members with local and custom content. Facebook and LinkedIn are more effective channels for internal communication, while Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube do a better job of connecting with external audiences. For Facebook and Google+, you want to provoke a reaction. Be timely, commentary, and analyze on what current event performed best. Inspire and motivate. People on Facebook love reading about happy stories. Use promotional call to action. Read my story, check out my interview, or watch my YouTube Toastmasters District video. Post powerful or behind-the-scene photos. They're more likely to spread virally. And ask for recommendations. This will definitely work with best of content and stories about Toastmaster speeches. And last but not least, use humor. Keep it clean and professional, but don't be afraid to show your funny side. For Twitter, you should be conversational. Use question headlines or other teasers that don't tell the whole story. Pick a quote about public speaking, leadership, or communication to post once a week, and please make sure to consider your sources. Be careful about the sources and make sure that they are accurate. Number one thing that I recommend is to please make sure when you're doing social media channels is to have fun and show your Toastmaster spirit. I'm going to leave it now to Sally. And Sally, do you have anything you would like to add about social media?
Thanks, Leah. That was great. Great overview. There's a couple of things I would keep in mind as you are using social media. One is it's out there forever, right? And once you've posted it, I mean, you can edit things that you post, but it's there and it's always traceable. So be mindful of a couple of different things. If you're using Facebook or LinkedIn or those places where you really want to engage with your current members, that's a great place to share, as Leah said, what you're doing and exciting things that are happening. If you're focused more externally and you're on YouTube, you're on Twitter, those are very public. So be mindful of what message you're sending and who you're sending it to, because you want to be thinking about what's important to them as opposed to what's important to me. So your intent on any of these public sites is driving awareness, driving interest, protecting the brand. So be sure to keep those things in mind at all times and serving a message that will resonate with the people you're appealing to. It also serves as a great way to test those messages because you get immediate feedback on interaction and positivity. So try different concepts, headlines, subheads, things like that to see what kind of reaction you get to it. Also be sure to constantly monitor any social space you decide to use, because the worst thing is to post something and then never check to see if anyone's reacted to it, to never check to see if anyone's asked you questions. So make sure that you're always looking and not just posting, but answering people's questions quickly and responsively and doing things like that. And if you do all of those things, then you'll have a successful social campaign. So we've kind of covered a lot in the past 45 minutes, but let's also go back and talk about the internal. So we've talked a lot about external communication, and that's through your public relations or social media activity. But let's also think about your internal focus. You're part of the district leadership team, and you work closely with the club growth director, program quality director, and district director. And you work with them to support the district and their objectives in achieving the district mission and ultimately the organization. So you're working to inform, persuade, and motivate not only the external audience, but the internal audience, which are your members. In doing this, your job is to work closely with the club growth director to participate in the marketing committee and any training opportunities, to contribute to the creation of the district newsletter, and to assist the CGD in maintaining the district website. You're also going to be working with the program quality director to make sure that you are fully aware of any district events that are coming up, training events, conferences, so that you can properly promote them to the members as well as externally. You need to also support the district director by understanding the district goals and success plan, establishing a clear communication protocol, not just with the district director, but with the entire district leadership team, and again, understanding the district calendar. You also want to leverage your region advisor as a resource, because their role is to help each district in achieving its mission, but also it's really mostly through expanding the marketing capacity. So they're there to help you. They have been where you've been, they understand your objectives, and they can provide some great suggestions, tips, and advice for you. Doing all of these things will help you to share goals and objectives and create a successful PR and communications program for your district internally as well as externally. In addition to working with the district leadership team, of course, you work with other district team members as well. So let's recap your role and responsibility as public relations manager. You coordinate with the news media. You conduct a communications plan, including social media. You serve as a spokesperson when necessary, and you publicize district news and activities to a variety of audiences. And I briefly mentioned it a few minutes ago, but we didn't cover in great detail. Your role may also include contributing to the website and the newsletter content for the district if the team needs support from you or participation. So that's what you're responsible for. Let's also talk about what you're not responsible for so that you can really truly focus on your role. Now, the following are not your roles and responsibilities. However, you may be asked to contribute and assist other members of the district. What you're not responsible for is developing outreach and retention efforts within existing community and corporate clubs or in new markets. You are not responsible for creating the marketing plan or managing district recognition activities. You should not be managing the club coach program or having a focus on recruiting, training, or supervising the club building team, or recruiting, training, or supervising club sponsors, mentors, or coaches. Your focus should be first and foremost on external and internal communications. So your responsibilities can really be summed up in 3 words: create, coordinate, and communicate. You create opportunities, materials, news releases, and possibilities for the district. You coordinate with the club growth director, the district director, and region advisor as well as other members of the district leadership team to fulfill the mission of the district. You communicate to the public and to the membership through local media and other communications. And we've covered a lot of ground today. So please be sure to watch this recording again when it's available. Read the District Leadership Handbook. Make sure you're very comfortable and familiar with the Let the World Know manual. Become very familiar with the Toastmasters brand manual and the public relations section of the website.
Yes, thank you, everybody. And if you have any further questions regarding this training or any PR specific questions, please again email pr@toastmasters.org. You can see the email address there in the middle of your screen. And to all of you who are watching and listening, we want to thank you again for taking your time, and we wish you the best over the coming year. Thank you very much.